everyone, and welcome to part 2 of every page I've ever coloured, brackets, most of them anyway. This is carrying on from the first part, and I'm going to kick off straight away with the first book to show you, which is Astralandia by Lenka Filinenko. And this page here is the only one I've coloured so far. It's the Gemini page, which is my star sign, and I used, I think, Tombows to colour this in. And yes, it's the only one I've done so far in the book. Next up, I have to show you the front cover of a colouring book called the Big Kids Colouring Book Tropical Undersea Wonders, and the front cover of this was actually coloured by me, and I won the top prize to be featured on the cover of this book, so really honoured that I won that. And it's a book that I can look back at and know that I created the colour work on the cover. Next up, I've got some postcard books to show you. First off, we've got Svenska Djur. And these are all from Printworks, which are the Hanna Karlsson and Maria Troll, all the Swedish authors, that kind of publisher. And so it's all written in Swedish. And these are just little postcards that I did quite some time ago now. And I mainly just used Tombow pens or Staedtler Tri-Plus pens. And I didn't really do anything fancy with it whatsoever. It's just a bit of colouring in for when I didn't really want to take too much time or consideration with what I was doing, and it's just a bit of a fun way to pass the time. So nothing special about these, and I know that I've done most of them, but obviously I've not finished just yet. Did that balloon there. And then the next one is a Maria Troll one. It's called I Bring You Flowers. Now, one of the postcards that I did from this, I remember now that I've actually taken it out and sent it to a pen pal for her birthday, and it said happy birthday on it. And I've also done this one as well, which is the congrats. And I believe that I did this with, what did I do this with? Albrecht Dürer, I think. Albrecht Dürer pencils. I had to think for a moment then. And apart from the happy birthday one that's not here, obviously, that's the one I've coloured in that book. This is Vinterdrömmar by Hanna Karlsson. And I started off colouring that one because I was doing a tutorial for how to do a kind of galaxy background with water-based markers. And the original should be in here somewhere, unless I took it out. I could very well have taken it out, I think, and it's ended up somewhere. I'll probably find it in years and years to come. I have that many books and papers and things. So there's not actually one in there, but I definitely have done one. I'll try and find a photo of it and put it up as a picture on this review. This is Vinternat, again by Hanna Karlsson. So I'm just pulling all these off my shelves and hoping that I've definitely done something in them. And as you can see, here's the crown that I did. I followed Vitruvian Arts tutorial for the opal gems, and I did my own kind of signature multicoloured crystals, and I used loads of sparkly gel pen on it. Next up is Magis Grinning, again by Hanna Karlsson, and here's one that I did with the Stabilo Carbothello, I think they're Stabilo, Carbothello pencils, which are like the pastel pencils, and it's still rubbing off. And this one I think I probably did with some ink tents. And I think that might be it. Oh no, it's not. Here's one that I believe I did with Pitt pens. It's very streaky. Don't like how the Pitt pens come out. So they're the postcards. Next up, we've got this beautiful book, the Forest Girls Colouring Book by Abbe. And here's the one that I completed. As you can see, this is the original piece of artwork on the left-hand side. And I tried to make it quite similar, but the green turned out rather glowy and quite bright, really. But I do like it, and I've still not coloured anything else in there, but it's a beautiful book. Definitely got to colour some more in that one. Ticket to Dreams by Karolina Kubikowska, or Kubikowska. I did colour this one here, which is the girl reading her books inside a bubble, and I don't really know what I was trying to achieve with the background here. I just put down some different colour markers, and maybe I was going to put water on them and kind of flush them out a little bit, but I just didn't get around to it. And also this one here where she's in the water. Again, did it with pens. It looks to me like I probably used Tombows or Staedtlers again. And I believe that that is it for this book. Now we've got the A to Z of Flora and Fauna by Kelly O'Gorman. She has a new one out, which is all numbers, which I will be reviewing very shortly. But for now, here's the C that I started, C for Claire, of course. And I don't think I've done anything else yet in the book. It really is time constraints when you have this many books and all sorts of tutorials and things on your mind that you need to get out there and film, and just finding the time. So I've done a bit more in this one. This is the Kelly O'Gorman A to Z of creative colouring. So I've done the A, I have done the B, mostly, and a C, and an F. So I've done quite a lot in this book actually. A G. And I believe for the most part that I was using, it definitely looks like something water-based. It could be Tombows. It quite possibly is Tombows, but I'm not sure. And here we are with the H and the I, J, and L. So all of these letters are made up of objects that begin with that letter. So you can see we've got M here, M for monster, M for mop, M for magician, monkey, mug, mouse. This one's a nurse one. I quite like this one. I like the ninja on this one. We've got the O that I've started, and the R, the S, and the X, and I believe that is it. So I've actually done pretty well with that one. I'm quite pleased with myself there. Next up is Disney Silhouette Magique. It's an art therapy colouring book by Hachette. And what have I done in here? I did the Inside Out picture. So Inside Out is a Disney Pixar film, I think. And I just coloured this with Prismacolors and made everything really bright and vibrant and vivid. And I think that might be it for that book. Next up is All About the Dog. It's a Battersea Dogs and Cats home colouring book, so it supports the Battersea Dogs and Cats home in the UK. And it is all about dog breeds. It's an absolutely stunning book. If you are into dogs, or a dog lover, if you love colouring dogs, you will love this. But of course, the one that I had to colour was our beautiful Rosie, Rosie the Yorkie. And I really enjoyed doing this. I think I did it with Prismas. Looking at it, I can see the wax. So yeah, I think I did it with Prismas. But I really love how this came out. It's the spitting image of Rosie. So there's loads of other dogs in there. I know that I haven't done any others yet, but I definitely want to. Next up, we've got Around the World in 50 pages. This is a Colour It colouring book. And I know for sure that I've only done one in here. Just checking. Yeah, it's this one here of this windmill, and it's landmarks from around the world. So I think that this might be Amsterdam or somewhere like that. But I coloured this with Tombows and Staedtler pens. Or actually, I didn't colour this with Tombows and Staedtler pens. I coloured this with the Colour It markers, the Colour It alcohol markers, and that's why they've all bled through to the back. I was doing a review for the book and the markers together, so sometimes you just can't remember what you used on what. This one's the Disney Dreams collection by Thomas Kinkade, an absolutely stunning book. You can see all the original Disney artwork on the left hand side and then turned into line work for you to colour on the right. And here is the one that I completed, and I did try and keep it as closely matched as possible within my own talents. I really like how the water turned out. There's tons and tons of layers on there of all kinds of different colours. I'm not so fussed with how this background turned out. I find it very difficult to do realistic small tiny flowers and bits of hedges and things like that, but I do quite like this one. Next is Drawing the World by Eri, I think this is called, and this is one that I know that I've started but haven't finished. So what I've done here, this is quite a strange book. So it's actually a tracing book. She's done the lines for you, but she wants you to trace them out in darker pen and then colour them if you want to. And what I started to do was just trace the lines of the image just to see how it looked. And it's very bare, it's very minimalistic, very simple. And obviously I'm not finished yet, but I'm still not sure whether I'm going to colour this or leave it as just a traced piece. Very unusual book. Next we have Rhapsody in the Forest, and I definitely did a Halloween one in here. Here we go. Halloween sort of mandala type image. We've got the haunted house in the centre with the moon, looks like a block of cheese, rising behind it. Definitely did this in Statler Tri Plus or Tombows. And they're like my two main water-based pen brands because I can see all of the streaks here. This one is Belle Jardin, or Belle Jardin if you're doing your French accent, and it's drawn by Peggy Jo Ackley. I love Peggy Jo Ackley's art. It is so country, cosy kitchen, just beautiful cozy kind of artwork. I did the farmer's market in here. I think I did this with Prismas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it with Prismas. I recognise some of the colours. And I tried to do each fruit as closely to life as I could. For example, if you look here at the Nectarines, if I can just zoom in a little bit, they all have very light, very fuzzy, peachy, matte colours in them. So I really tried to make it look quite realistic. Next, I did this beautiful slice of watermelon for my seamless coloured pencil blending video. So if you haven't seen that, you should go and find it on my tutorials playlist. And as you can see, it's completely seamless, and I didn't use any kind of blending tool or anything. It was just purely pencil. So if you want to find out how to do that, go and find that video. And that's it so far, but I know for sure that I'll be colouring more in this because I love it. Next up is the Disney Memorable Scenes colouring book, and I've only done one in this again, and it is this one here, which is from Mickey's Christmas Carol. So I used alcohol markers on this, Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, and I like it. I like how it turned out. I did bring up the scene on Google just to see what the colours were and did try to match those accordingly. But most of all, I had fun colouring it. It might not be one of my best works that I'm most proud of, but I had fun doing it, because who doesn't have fun with Disney? And there's so many amazing posters in here. It's a definite one to colour more in the future. Next up is another one I've not coloured much in, but I'm really sad about that because I absolutely adore the artwork, and it's Doodles from the Den by the lovely Kim White. And if we just look inside, you can see this is the one that I've coloured. It is the North Pole within this central sphere, very contained, and which I really like in colouring books. And I really did my hardest to make this look like a genuine, very frosty, very cold, icy scene. Next is Serena by Mar Del Rubio, and here's the one that I coloured. It's this merman here. He's sort of like a fairy as well. He's got a lot of wings, reminds me a bit of a dragonfly, but he's got a very kind of koi carp tail as well. And we've got the waves and the foam. Pretty quick one to colour, that one. Next up, another Mar Del Rubio book, which is Mascara. And this one I did definitely with Prismacolors, and I enjoyed doing all the different faces in different combinations from my Prismacolor combinations chart. Finally, for Mar Del Rubio is the Halloween Colour Your Fright, and this is the one that I coloured, or half coloured anyway, so I'm getting there. I'll probably pick this up this Halloween actually and continue it. So it is the zombie girl. She's got beautiful, beautiful green skin and her coffin is sort of floating in the clouds of smoke behind her. Next is a little book that I always come to when I need to colour something quick or practice for a tutorial. This is the ABC Adultish Colouring Book for your inner kid, and this was one of the first colouring books that I got into review all those years ago now. Here's the deer that I coloured with the Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. I absolutely adore this, and I know I've done a few more in here because I'm always getting it out. See, to try things like hair combos. Let's have a look what else I can see on here. So we have I is for ice cream, again with the Spectrum Noir pens. We have another one down here. I don't want to miss one out. Just making sure that I've got them all. I've got the mermaid, which is really cute. Again, I'm sure I did that with some water-based pens, but I can't think which. Started off the owl. I think my son actually did that, looking at it, because of all the pencil marks here. and someone's drawn a ghost in the corner, so I'm guessing that's one of my kids. I've done a roller skate, and this one's super glittery, if you can see under the light. I think I did that again with alcohol markers and just added some sparkle pens on the top, and that might be it, I think. Well, I think one of my kids tried to do the cactus but went wrong. Yes, that's it. So next up is the Vertical Worlds colouring book by Abbe, and this is a really unusual book because it is buildings and places that are all done vertically so that you can see a cross section of them, and I know I've done one of these. I usually do at least one in every single book, and I'm pretty sure it is a fairground. Here we go. This is the Vertical Carnival. Now I can't really fit it all on screen because it's quite a long book, but you can see here that I did, the fun house, the hot dog stand, the shooting gallery, twist and loop. We've got rides, a Ferris wheel. There's a, what do you call those things? I'm trying to think of the name. Carousel, bumper cars, hall of mirrors, ghost train, all kinds of different things. Absolutely adore that book. So it is literally vertical worlds, vertical airport, vertical theatre, vertical hotel, treehouse, farm. Beautiful book. I need to do more in that. Legendary Worlds adult colouring book. This is a big one. So I did this one here with some pastels for the background and a stencil, a cloud stencil, and some bubbles. And I don't know whether I've done any more. I don't think I have. And we have then the Legendary Worlds, or sorry, Legendary Landscapes colouring book, which was the first one that they brought out. And here's the one that I completed. Big mushroom biome, lots of toadstools. I think that's the only one I've done. Yeah. Okay, next up we have Serena by Nicholas F. And I haven't yet, or have I completed? Yes, I have actually. This is one that I'm working on. This is the one I was thinking of when I was saying I haven't completed it. So I'm working on this at the moment with Prismas. I have then done, let's try and find the ones that I've done. Have to bear with me, guys. It's a bit of a slow process sometimes because I haven't marked out all of the pictures. Okay, so this is one that I did for easy Copic skin blending with Copic markers. Again, you can find that tutorial on my channel. And I've definitely completed one in here because I remember what it looks like. Here we go, all the way at the back, this girl here. And I did that with Prismas. Next up is Pastel Cove Alito, which is by Lenka Filinenko again. And this is one that I very, very recently coloured and reviewed. So I just need to find the page that I did, which I believe is more towards the back. Another absolutely stunning book, an excellent production quality. Here we go, there is the page that I completed. Did it with Copics and Spectrum Noirs, and there's some stickles on there, pretty much through everything at this. I also shaded in some of it with pencil as well. So it's a whole menage of different mediums. Fantasia, another one by Nicholas F. So in this one I have coloured this beautiful lady on the magic carpet. Did that with Prismas. And pretty sure I did another one in here. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Yes, I did this one with Holbein pastel pencils. I really wanted to road test those pastels in the Holbein set, and I believe that might be it for that. Next is Fantasia by Casey Gilmore. So I've got all kinds of things done in this book. We've got this beautiful dragon, which, believe it or not, I did with wax crayons. And this one here, the dragon and the mermaid, which I did with Aquarello pens. This man here that I did very recently with Prismas. And this guy here that I did with the Aquarello pencils by Fibricolor. And I think that might be it. Yes, that's it. Next, I'm not sure whether I showed you this in the first video. I might have done, but it's come off the shelf into this pile, so I'm just going to show you again, just in case I didn't. I haven't had time to look through the past video to see whether I included this one, so you're going to see it for a second time. If so, this is the first girl that I coloured from the Secombs colouring book, and there was loads and loads of stickles all over those little butterflies or whatever kind of creatures they are. And I've also done another piece with Prismas, this one here where I did my holographic flower tutorial. So yes, absolutely love that one. Next and finally is my collection of the Colouring Heaven magazines. So first of all we have the Fairies and Friends special, and this is the one that I coloured, not quite finished. Then we have the Misfits special. Where did I colour this one? Here. So I really love this one. This is Asylum Park Wilhelmina. Next we have the most recent edition, which is the Witches special. Now some of these books are actually in the kids' room at the minute. This is the one that I coloured with Prismacolor, and so not all of my Colouring Heaven collection will be on this video because my kids have run off with them. We've got the Secret World of Animals special, and this is the one that I started to colour, these beautiful stamps, and I believe that my kids have started to colour in here as well, as you can see. And that's it for that one. Then we have the Anime special, and here's the one that I started to colour with alcohol markers just to see how they would go down. I think that's it. We then have the Flowers collection for 2018, and I coloured this here with my Spectrum Noir Colour Tint pencils, which are the pencils that are made from graphite, so they're tinted graphite, and I thought they'd do really well for this kind of old botanical book look. And then lastly is the Native American Mythology special, and the one that I coloured in here was this one. Obviously it's not finished, but I just wanted to complete this initial section because I wasn't really sure of how I was going to go about this other part, because there's a lot of lines and places that I don't really know what they are. But yes, I did enjoy colouring this. The fur is a bit crazy. I'm no good at fur, and I ended up doing it with a ballpoint pen. If you can see really close up to this wolf, it's all ballpoint pen and it looks a bit weird. But yes, so anyway, I think that that is my total collection shown over these past two videos. Obviously, as I mentioned before, there are other pages that I have completed in the last 4.5 years that I've been colouring, and they're not here for me to show you now because I've either given the book away, taken it to a charity shop, or given it to a friend or a family member to colour because I didn't want to continue with that book. But all of the books that you've seen in these past two videos are ones that I definitely do want to keep and colour as much as I can out of. So I really hope that you've enjoyed looking at the second part of this video and my whole collection of coloured pages. I hope it's not bored you too much, and all I can say is thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, just leave it. You don't have to give it a thumbs down, just leave it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time on Colour with Claire.